Meet the Candidates event put on by the Lewis County Herald. And Don and I are going to moderate this event, and we're going to start with the unopposed candidates so that they can introduce themselves and let you put a face with a name if you don't know. And do you want to start with our state senator? I saw Mr. Joy. He's here, right? Or did he leave?
Senator Hensley, would you like to come up and say anything before we start?
We should have put you in the front. I'm sorry. That'd be good. It would be good. I like that. They want to start it off with a prayer, Don. I think that's a good idea.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for your goodness. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for allowing all of us to live in the greatest country in the world and the greatest state in the world. We just ask that you will bless each one of these candidates, bless everyone that's here today. We just ask that everyone would look to you for guidance, and we pray that you will bless our county, bless our state, bless each one of the citizens, and help us to always look to you. And we thank you for your Son, sending your Son so that we could have salvation, so that we could have a better life in the future. And we just ask for your blessings. Bless this meeting today, and we give you all the glory and the praise. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.
Very good.
Well, I'd just like to welcome everyone here. I'm not a candidate now because I don't have to run this year. So I'm in the middle of a term, so you won't see state senate on the ballot in Lewis County. Half of the state senators run every 2 years. The even number districts run together. The odd number districts run together. And I ran 2 years ago, so I don't have to run this year. But I do plan to run in 2 years, but not now. But I just like to thank all the candidates, people willing to put their name on the ballot, to run for office, for people that are concerned about our county and about our state. We are very blessed to live in Tennessee, a low-tax state, no income tax state. We have some issues on the ballot in November that would make sure that we never have a state property tax. We don't have a state property tax now, and we don't ever want to have one, but that'll be on the ballot in November. There'll be several constitutional amendments on the ballot in November. But I'd just like to thank everyone for coming, for being interested in what happens in government. Local government is important. That affects you more than the state government or the federal government. And we just saw today one of our U.S. senators passed away unexpectedly. We just have to live day to day and put our faith in God. And I'd just like to thank you all for allowing me to represent Lewis County in the General Assembly all these years. And I'm always open to any opinions or any questions, or any time I can help with anything, just let me know. Thank you, and thank you, Don.
Thank you, Senator Hensley. I spoke with the Commissioner of Elections, Rusty Isbell, a few minutes ago. So our election is August the 6th. Early voting starts July the 17th and ends August the 1st. And all that early voting takes place up at the War Memorial Building there across from the courthouse.
Which early voting starts then this coming week, correct?
July 17th, yeah.
That's interesting because I haven't thought about that.
An event like this it's recorded, and we've had a little bit of trouble with Wi-Fi today, and so I don't know that it's going to be live streamed, but it is going to be recorded for viewing later. So it gives our candidates a chance to introduce themselves and talk about some topics, and that as a voter you can go back to and see your candidate. I know that during this time, the door knocking season, just in case they were not be able to talk to you face to face, it gives you a chance to go back and watch and put a face with a name. So I think this is a good event. I'm excited for it.
This is a very laid-back event, which not a debate of any kind. We're going to do a few questions and answers in a few minutes, and the candidates have the questions. That's for folks who are opposed. If you're unopposed, and what I would like to do now at this time is invite you up to introduce yourself, and you can say whatever's on your mind, and we'll try to do this by district. This won't take too long, I don't think. And we'll start this off with our unopposed candidates. As just an introduction. And our first one, I believe, would be First District, would be Larry Pigg.
Well, I'm glad to see a big group here. I wish my district was there, would show up. There are about 1,000 people there. This last election, only 147 voted. Now, that's not representation. When you don't vote, you hurt yourself. And right now, I'm here to represent everybody, but the guys that I work with, incumbents, we've managed to keep our government with low taxes, built you a big school and a big jail. That's what you have to do. You have to have the guts to do it. And support everybody when it comes about. But if you have any questions for me, I'm in District 1, which is way past Summertown Meadow out that way, and it runs almost up to, well, it runs in Summertown. I have to go in Summertown to Holloway Street to represent some that's over there. So there's quite a few people there. But anyway, if you have a question for me, I'll try to answer. If not, let's let this next one come by.
Thank you, Mr. Larry Pigg. District 1.
Our next candidate is District 2, Brian Perry. If you'd like to come up and introduce yourself, Brian, and say what. Well, you never have been one to say very much, so I don't know if you have much to say, but here you go.
Just for the folks that might not know you.
All right, thank you so very much. Good to see everybody out here today for this forum. I'm not going to spend very much time. I spent 32 years in this system as an ag ed teacher. That has been extremely fulfilling. So about 20 years ago, I felt the calling to become a county commissioner. So in line with a great-grandfather, a grandfather, and a dad, I'm the fourth generation. That's a humbling experience. We face many challenges. These folks that I work with right here on twice a month, we've came together, we solved problems. Sometimes to your liking, maybe sometimes you would have done a little bit different. But anyway, you ever have questions, you can get to me here at school, you can call me at home. Don't have service where I live, but send me a text, I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for coming out. Good luck with the rest of our candidates.
Thank you, Mr. Perry.
All right, that was District 2. Coming up next would be District 3, and he's unopposed, and that's Timmy Henson. You get nervous?
Yeah, I get nervous.
You want me to hold the mic?
You can if you want to. Hey, everybody. If you don't know me, my name's Timmy Henson. I'm a county commissioner in the 3rd District. I have been a county commissioner for 12 years. In those 12 years, I have not missed a county commission meeting. I love serving Lewis County. Before running for commissioner, I also served 3 terms as constable in my district. I was a deputy sheriff for over 14 years. I now serve on the Farm Bureau Board and the Ag Extension Board. I have been a Mason at Lodge 607 for almost 30 years, and I am also a Shriner, a Perry County Shrine Club. I have lived here all my life. I have been married to my wife, Barbara, for 50 years. We have been members of Little Swan Church for almost 40 years. We are lucky enough to have our kids, grandkids, our great-grandkids right here in Lewis County. One of the reasons I continue to serve Lewis County for the future generations. Lewis County has been good to me and my family. I have owned and operated T&T Body Shop for over 36 years. I feel the experience as a successful business owner has helped me be a better commissioner. I am running unopposed, and I certainly would appreciate everybody's votes. Thank you, and God bless you.
Well, that was good, Timmy. Thank you. That's District 3. Next up unopposed is Patrick Halfacre in District 5. He's unopposed this year.
Thank you. I'm Patrick Halfacre. I've been a lifelong resident here in Lewis County. I served as commissioner for 8 years before we voted down to get it to 9 commissioners. And then after that, I took some time off, and I wanted to become a commissioner again. I felt it was a calling and something I still wanted to do, and I left some things on the table. So I only have one promise, and I promise that to every Lewis County citizen, that I will stand up and work hard for you. And I do my research and make my informed decisions and my vote by listening to my constituents and, just finding the research and everything that needs to go along with the vote that I'll be voting on certain certain resolutions. So with that being said, I'm here to work for you. My name is Patrick Halfacre, of course, and you can get a hold of me anytime. Facebook, text message. A lot of people have my number. You can just get a hold of me. I'm sure to be posted again here pretty soon, and look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Halfacre. District 5.
Next up would be an unopposed District 9, Caleb Feidinger.
Good afternoon. My name is Caleb Feidinger, District 9. First, I got to start by just saying thank you to my wife. She is at home wrestling 3 small children right now, so I can be here. She's a great human being, the backbone of what I am, and what I am is a voice for you. I think, if you look at, we've heard about building of the school, building of the jail, building a new library. Most all that came at the request of the taxpayer, of you, the people. And so that's what we are as a county commission, to make sure that what we have available, that we put back into this community. We want this to be the best community that there is, and I just want to continue to represent each and every individual of Lewis County, and specifically the 9th District. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. I just realized that we're recording this, and I'm standing in the center, and
We're standing right in the shot,
important folks are standing over on the side. So, like I said, Rob said earlier, our internet, the high school internet is down, so Will and the folks from the radio station in Linden are recording this, and they're going to dump it onto the Facebook sites and all the internet locations, and I'm sure 101.3 stuff too, probably, as soon as we're over here, and that's the best we can do today. But we are being recorded, and so forth. So next up would be...
I was going to complain about that paper falling in the floor, but I'm thankful for the air, because when we got here, the air wasn't working.
Oh, we'll be cold by the time we leave here,
Yes, sir.
probably. Next up is Judge Lane. Are you here? Oh, there you are. He is our circuit court judge, and he is unopposed this year.
I'll get in trouble if I hand it to you way over there.
Well, when I was asked to speak, I kind of had a flashback of the attorney days. When you give an attorney an opportunity to speak, a lot of times you can't get them to be quiet. So if my wife back there, Mary Ruth, if you'll raise your hand, if you hear her clear her throat, that's my sign to sit down. But I have it's a great pleasure to be here today. Many of you I know, a lot of you I don't, so I would encourage you to come up and introduce yourself. And you may be looking at me like, how on earth did you get here? I was appointed by Governor Lee back in September to fulfill the term of Judge Mike Spitzer, who's I've gotten to know, and he's a dear friend of mine, for the period of time from September up until this election. There's 4 years left on his 8-year term, and being unopposed, I will be able to serve out those last 4 years of his 8-year term, which is a great honor. In 2030, I will have to run again for a full 8-year term. Being the judge after 33 years of being an attorney has been quite a change, and one of the things that nobody told me about was the number of cases that are in this district. We've got Hickman, Lewis, and Perry counties. And I think the last time I looked, I get a weighted case average report from the state. I think we have a little over 2,000 open cases in the 3 counties. And you can imagine that none of this could flow if it wasn't for all the clerks. Of course, we got Barbara back there, and they grease the wheels. They make it work, and I'm real appreciative of that because I couldn't do it if it wasn't for them. But I live over in Hickman County. We've got a farm over there, and I've been over there since '06. Came from Williamson, and it was kind of ironic. The district itself, the 32nd district, formed in 2022. Mike had been appointed in 2018 by Governor Haslam, and they saw, it was kind of ironic because I saw it from the Williamson County perspective, and I saw it from the Hickman, Perry, Lewis County perspective, but they determined that Hickman, Lewis, and Perry was unique in and of itself in the growth in Williamson County, and that there needed to be this new district, and the growth and the number of cases justified it. So that's kind of how it came about back in 2022. So it is the newest district, judicial district in the state of Tennessee. It's a great district. I love it. I love the people. I love the counties. I love the rural life. And that's what I grew up being when I was over in Rutherford County growing up all these years. But I just want you to understand it's a great privilege and honor to serve as the judge for the 22nd or 32nd Judicial District. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Our next up is Kayla Henson. She will be our new unopposed circuit court clerk. Kayla, if you'd like to come and introduce yourself.
I'm Kayla Henson. I'm running for circuit court clerk in this year's election. I'm a lifelong resident of Lewis County. I've been married to my husband, TJ, now for 18 years. We have 2 children together. I've worked in the circuit court clerk's office for almost 8 years now, so I believe I've gained the knowledge and experience to be your next clerk. Our current clerk, Barbara, will be retiring in August at the end of her term. I have seen from her the amount of hard work and dedication that it takes to run this office. I want the transition from Barbara to myself to be as smooth as possible. I plan to continue running this office with the amount of efficiency and dedication that she has put into it now for the past 16 years. I am honored and blessed to be running in this election unopposed, but I still would love everyone's vote and support. My family and myself are very thankful for the amount of support that we have already received in the last couple months, and we hope to continue receiving that moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the list, I think Sheriff Tiller here. Do you want to get up and say anything? Okay, he didn't want to get up. Okay, well, we know him and he's here, so that's all good. Next would have been Sandra Clayton, and I don't think Sandra's here. And Mike Webb, our unopposed trustee. Mike's not here this afternoon either, as well as Cheryl Staggs, Register of Deeds, is unopposed and not here. Moving down through the constable list, Don Kramer's not here. Jonathan Pitts, are you here? You want to say something about being constable? Okay, Jonathan's not here. Ian Leeden, constable, unopposed in that District 5. And Ryan Johnston is unopposed in District 9, and I don't think Ryan's here either. So, and we have 5 unopposed school board members. Cassie Couch in District 1, Lindsey Hyman in District 3, Matthew Atkins in District 5, Blake Farr in District 7, and Cody Mitchell in District 9. I don't think any of those folks chose to attend this afternoon, but they are all running unopposed this year, so we don't have much activity on the school board in this election. And so now I think we've waded through all our unopposed candidates, and we're going to ask that our opposed candidates come up and take a seat so we can converse a little. And the first 2 I think I have is Jared Murray and Kyle Bobo, if you don't mind coming up and taking the first couple of seats.
That's District 4.
District 4, go ahead.
Mr. Mike Clay and Terry Barnes in District 6. And I don't know, I think Mr.
Aaron
Clay may be
Ragsdale is
on-
out of town. He's not here. Mike Clay and Terry Barnes. Is Terry here?
I think so.
Terry didn't make it? Okay.
He was here?
Okay. I guess he chose not to participate in our discussions. Next is up with
Abraxas Roden and Bradley Lovelace in District 7.
and I don't think Bradley's here. Is Abraxas here? Okay, not here either. Okay.
And Mr. Bill Dyer and Larry Wayne Harper in District 8. Mr. Dyer's here.
Mr. Dyer's here.
I know I saw Lawrence Kinsey's. Yeah, he's here as a constable. Do you want to introduce yourself? I'll give you a reason.
That constable race is opposed, I believe.
It is Braxton Best. We should have let them. Braxton make it today.
You can just introduce yourself then, since tell everybody who you are.
All right, my name is Lawrence Kinsey. I am your current 3rd District Constable. I've been in office for 2 terms, going on 8 years this year. I am running again. Give you a little bit of background about myself. 10 years in the United States Army Infantry, where I did 2 years in combat frontline on the invading force of Afghanistan and Iraq. Was injured during my time in service, which ended up getting a medical discharge, went through rehab, got myself back together, and went through EMT school, where I eventually went through paramedic and then critical care paramedic school, where I have just recently retired from that. I spent 20 to 22 years as a paramedic, most of in this county. Before that, when I was in the military, I did some security work for the Indianapolis Colts as a special deputy, working security at the games and stuff. To me, this position is not just as a constable. I love doing this job. Anybody that knows me knows that I am out and about all the time. I go out almost on a daily basis doing something with this position. I was out every day during the ice storm, checking on people, going out delivering stuff, cutting down trees, using my own personal stuff to move trees and stuff so people could get out, emergency vehicles could get in. To when tornadoes have hit, I've gone out, of course, working with the Sheriff's Department and the local PD, going out with them and helping them as well. So I love this. I love being able to help the community. I love this little town. I've lived here for well over about 25 years, I think, all in 3rd District. And to me, it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to represent not only this county, but especially our 3rd District. So I would appreciate y'all's vote come, I guess it starts in about a week. So I would appreciate your vote. If anybody has any questions, I'll be around for a little while afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you much.
We need our mayoral candidates.
Yeah, mayoral candidates, James Ryan Skelton, Shane Blackwood. I don't think so.
I think that is all of our opposed candidates that we have this afternoon that came to the Q&A.
I believe so.
Let me get out of the way over here now.
We have the one microphone, so we're going to have to pass it. I'm sorry.
So all of the candidates have the questions in advance, so you could prepare your answers. And I'm just going to pull one out of, is that your hat, Rob?
That's not my hat. It's a good-looking hat.
It's a good-looking hat. But anyway, we're going to pull a question out. Y'all have the questions, and then we will, we probably have time, since we only have 6 people, to let everybody answer, don't you think?
Yeah.
And we won't hold everybody to it. It is Sunday afternoon. So we will We'll walk through as many of these questions as we think we have time for. It is Sunday afternoon, and I don't want to hold everybody too long. Families have things to do. So I'm going to pull the first question now, and I'll read it, and Rob can pick who you want to start. And we'll alternate who starts the question so you're not set up.
I say we just start, and we'll just start each question with the next guy.
That's fine.
Yeah, let's do. Let's let them introduce themselves.
Okay. Well, like I said, we're totally unofficial.
My name is Kyle Bobo. I'm running for the 4th District County Commissioner. One of the first things that I want to point out about myself is I love the Lord and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ more than anything else. That is first thing in my life. And a quick second is my wife, Jennifer Renee Armstrong, Bobo. I'm so thankful that she decided to marry me, and we have some wonderful family. We have Jeremiah, Juliet, Bentley, Kyler, and Clara Bay. We have a big family. I'm all about my family, and they are my world. And that's what I'm serving for. I'm serving for the next generation after us. There is a lot of things that we have going on in our community, and a lot of things we've accomplished so far. There's still a lot of work to do, but I believe we can do that. I'm currently a youth minister as well at the Sanctuary UPC, and I've been doing that for 8 years. So ministry is just who I am. I love to serve. I love to serve this community, and I'm always accessible. Just this week, I've had people from District 1, District 3. I've had everybody calling me, and I like to serve. So I'm here for you. If there's anything that I can do, even if you're not in my district, I'll be glad to help you. But, of course, the 4th District, I'm here to serve you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Jared Murray, and I am the Democratic candidate for the County Commissioner in District 4. I'm the 4th generation of my family to live in Lewis County. My great-grandparents lived here. My grandparents lived here. My parents still live here. And now my wife and Rachel and I, we live here. We live on the same 64 acres that my family has lived on since 1975. Those 64 acres are the most important physical thing in my life, and I would do anything to protect them. I want to maintain what makes Lewis County great. I want to protect what I have while simultaneously protecting what you have. That said, as we answer these questions, I want to challenge you with something. Don't put the answers in the context of what Lewis County looks like right now. Put them in the context of what Lewis County is going to look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when there are more people and more houses. Are we going to have set up the guardrails necessary to make sure that we have something that we're proud of and is safe and affordable that we can pass on to our children and our children's children? I hope that you see a couple themes in the things that I'm going to say tonight. The first being, I want to prepare for the future. I want to be proactive, not reactive. I want to start getting ahead of things. And then secondly, my goals are to protect the little guys from the big guys. And let me tell you, I'm a little guy. You know, I own this property, I own 64 acres, and it's just me. So I want to look out for myself, but I also want to look out for you. Those are my goals. I'm Jared Murray. I'm running for County Commission in District 4. I'm really honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Mike Clay. I'm running for 6th District Commissioner. I think it's time for a change in this county. Like I say, I believe we need a hospital in here. I believe we need more jobs for the people that's here. A lot of people's having to drive out of town in order to have a job. It's gas is high. It's dangerous being on this road. I'm a retired state trooper. I know what about the dangers on these roads. I'm retired from Army National Guard. I spent 2 terms in the United States Navy prior to that. Like I say, I've seen a lot of stuff in my lifetime, and I believe I could, if with the help that I should have, I could maybe get something done to help this county. Like I say, some of our commissioners are pulling all one way. I think I need to be pulled the other. And if I could get 3 or 4 to help me, I believe we could change some things in this county to make it a better county. if you would, I'd appreciate you voting for me on 6th District Commissioner on the Democratic ticket. Like I say, have a good day and God bless you.
Hello, my name is Bill Dyer. Most of you know me, and the ones that don't know me know my wife, Paula, as she is chairman of the local Lewis County School Board. And I told her about that when she moved here 42 years ago. Everybody that met her, well, she was Bill Dyer's wife. Nobody knew her. After 42 years, when they see me, they say, "Aren't you Miss Dyer's husband?" So they know her now and not me. But anyway, I want to say something again that Mr. Pigg said when he was up here a while ago, and this is true. Running for political office ain't for sissies. Whether that's a commissioner, whether that's a mayor, whatever position it is, it's not for sissies. You gotta have a desire to do it. You gotta have a desire to do what's right. And one more thing I want to say about my buddy Timmy Henson too. He did say he hadn't missed a meeting in 12 years. One time, but he didn't say that he's never been on time for a meeting either. He's always about 10 minutes late. No, I'm just joking. Timmy's one of our top commissioners. And but anyway, you know, I've had it for 16 years, and I've got to know. Well, there's 1,000 people, as Mr. Bigg said, in our district, and we usually have 300 or so vote. Voter apathy is a problem in Lewis County. We want opinions. We want people to get out and talk to us and tell us what they like that we did, what they didn't like that we did, and we're working for y'all. And on August the 6th, you know, that will come in play again. But anyway, we've got a great group of commissioners up here right now, and we work together really good. And I just want to say, we've got, Paul and I have, let me count a minute, 3 children, 9 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, and another one on the way. So we're really vested in Lewis County and seeing it do better. So anyway, if you need to get a hold of me, my phone number, email, anything, just give me a call. I'll be glad to talk to you about any problems we might have. Thank you.
You want to talk a little longer, Bill? Go ahead. Okay. Good afternoon. It's good to be here, guys. It's good to see everyone here, the ones that came out. I want y'all to smile. Let's say a smile. Come on, smile at us. Make us feel welcome up here. But no, my name's Ryan Skelton. I'm a God first type of guy. I just am. That's the way I've always lived my life, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. I'm big into ministry work. I've been involved in so many different things as far as ministry work, from drug rehabs to youth leader at my local church. You know, God has been centered of my life for quite some time, and I'm going to keep him there because I've lived life both ways, and God-centered is the best, in my opinion. I'm a man of character. My character means everything to me. How I hold myself, how I represent myself, at the end of the day, that's all you have. I'm a man of my word. If I tell you something, I'm going to do it. If for some reason or another I don't do it, I'm going to let you know why, and there's never no good excuse for not keeping your word. I'm a husband. I have the best wife that a man could ask for. She's sitting right up there. And she's the secretary here at our local high school. We're very involved. She's very involved in our community. She's a cheer coach as well. I'm a father, which is the greatest thing that a man could ever experience, is being a father. My kids are wonderful. I love my kids. I just love young people in general, especially my kids, and very proud of them. So I'm a husband, father. I'm all about community. I think community, a strong community that sticks together, is absolutely a winning community. We can't be separated at any point and win. We have to be together. My wife and I are involved in youth at our church, again, small business owner. I started my business in 2015 in the trucking industry. I still have a truck today because if I lose this election, I'm going to have to keep it. I'm going to have to keep running it. I hope I don't. But I was also an instructor here at TCAT. We built the driver training program from the ground up. When I went to work there, they gave me the keys, and that was it. I went and took my classroom and built the program from the ground up by myself, with help from other schools, of course, and guidance. But I know what it's like to build a program and be an administrator of that program. So, again, I'm glad to be here, and I would love to have your vote come August 6th.
Well, I'm Shane Blackwood, and just like most of us, lifelong residents here of Lewis County. Married, my wife's sitting over there. Actually, tomorrow we'll be married 30 years. Got 2 daughters. They're both sitting out here, and I'm going to disagree with Ryan on one thing. I just learned something that kids used to be the number one thing, but I got a brand new grandson that's sitting out there, and that's just a little bit better than them kids. I never thought it would be, but he is. Especially, I grew up with all sisters and had all daughters, so now I got a grandson, so it's a lot better now. Same thing, love our community. Served as commissioner once before, was chairman of the commission, chairman of the budget committee. Enjoy it. People talk about, talk religion, talk politics. I like to talk both of them. I don't want to argue about them, I like to talk about them. When I look at Lewis County, I go back to where looking at how things is going. I think some things need to be looked at. I think being together, talking with the city, talking with other elected officials, and seeing how they look at things that are going on now, I think that there needs to be some things that needs to be done. Something I want to take hold of. Mayor don't have all the say-so on none of that, but you can work with the commissioners and get stuff in there. I think got a lot of great ideas. I hope we get to talk about them today. So I won't take up much time so we can get to answering some questions. But appreciate your vote come August. Thank you now.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, here's what we'd like to do. I've got the first question pulled here, and I'd like to get through as many questions as we possibly can. It's 2:45, and I won't hold you past 3:15, 3:20 if we can get through the most questions. So if you don't mind answering directly and say what you feel about the question, but if we can get through everyone on a timely manner, we can get through more questions. It is Sunday afternoon, and I'm conscious of that. Here's the first question. Like I said, and y'all have had the questions, so you had time to do the research.
You the unlucky one. You took a first seat.
There's been talk in Washington regarding the dissipation of property taxes. They say it's a devastating thought that you would spend your whole life paying off a house and lose it to property taxes late in life, and there's some merit to that. And they have backed that with instances of people who have lost their homes after their homes were reappraised and thus taxes were raised, and accordingly there's a lot of conversations out in Middle Tennessee now because of our property values. So the question is, with property taxes accounting for a very large percentage of Lewis County income, because basically Lewis County has income-based property tax and sales tax and some other minor stuff, and that's a huge part of the county's budget. What are some ways you would consider supplementing that if we remove property tax?
It's a good question. To state kind of what we're looking at here is property tax does make up a good portion of the county's revenue. As a matter of fact, it's around probably between 35 and 40%. And so with that alone, you're looking at, there's got to be other ways to make it up. And so the state legislator's not just going to strike it out and then be like, there's not other opportunities to raise the funds. And so with that alone, the community doesn't have many other revenue sources without putting additional burdens back on the residents. So therefore, I'm going to have to relent and go back to the state legislator at that point and say, what other revenue streams could we get even from the state legislator? So, and of course, we have a wonderful representative that we always can go to, and he's definitely got some, I'm sure, some other ideas. But from a county's perspective, sitting as the chair right now, that's our revenue stream is the property tax, and there's not a lot of other ways we can do that without putting the burden right back on our constituents.
All right, thank you.
You know, one thing I love about family is you don't always agree about stuff, but you love each other anyway. And my family and I, we had just this discussion not a week and a half ago, and it got pretty heated, and we had to agree to disagree and say, hey, I love you anyway. I'd go a step further and say I'm opposed to repealing property taxes for just the reasons stated. They are too big a part of what keeps the county afloat. And honestly, I haven't heard a lot of great alternatives for what replacement for those funds would be. I was talking with a constituent the other day, and they made a point, a smart point, that, okay, let's say they get rid of property taxes. Well, they're going to find that money somewhere else, and maybe where they find it is worse, and you end up paying more. And that's something that, you know, you don't really think about. So sometimes the devil you know beats the devil you don't. That said, I don't think that anyone should ever lose their primary residence because they can't afford to pay property taxes, and I would be in favor of some kind of needs-based forgiveness program that makes sure that people stay in their homes. And as a matter of fact, I did a little more research on this. The state of Tennessee has what's called the Property Tax Relief Program, and it is for vets, it's for disabled people, it's for those over 65. So if you are struggling to pay your property taxes, there is a recourse to make sure that you don't lose your primary residence over it. So those safeguards are in place, and like I said, I would be opposed to repealing them.
Well, I'm a property owner myself. There's a lot of people in this county that do not own property. There's a lot of them that will never own property. I just now come up with this, and like I say, I'm not a politician. I never have pretended to be. But now, if we're going to have some kind of tax, why not on sales tax? Anybody that buys anything in this county, there's people go at Walmart and various places, and they want to buy this and buy that. Well, like I say, if they got the money to do it, that's fine. But if we're going to do anything, I believe in appeal or cutting down on property tax. And if we have to, maybe sales tax or some other means that we could communicate about and maybe work it out.
Well, this subject, I mean, it's interesting. It comes up right now as far as revenue and the money coming into the county, because we have met every Monday in the month of June. The last meeting, I think, was from 4:30 in the afternoon till 8:30 at night, we go over the budget with a fine-tooth comb. And we have part of it's called revenues, and then part of it's called expenditures. And we have to go over every item for every office in the county.
Get it close to you.
Anyway, we have to go over every item of every office holder, every office in Lewis County. We have been blessed with a group in Lewis County who have really done a good job of maintaining their budget. And, as we go over it, they come in, they explain what each item is to us, and we will continue to do that. We've had a lot of good partners through the last few years that have really worked with us good. My buddy Josh Stoll, who just left, Summertown Metals has been a huge blessing to Lewis County. And I told him that I was so glad they decided to put the whole manufacturing facility in my district. Now, I don't think that was really their reason for putting it there, but I tell him that anyway, putting it in the 8th district. But they've been a real blessing to Lewis County. Anything we've needed, they work with us, sometimes putting their own money out. But I'd be for taking a fair looks at the property tax, but not a permanent, just deleting the property tax, because as he's already said, we do have to have an income stream if we provide the services that taxpayers expect.
Yeah, I've sat in those commissioners' meetings here lately, and they have sure crunched some numbers. They've done the work. I've watched these commissioners really step up for Lewis County and do their best in that area. So I will have to agree with my buddy here. So about 40 to 50%, I would say, and that was just through researching things, that's our bulk of our property tax revenue. A lot of times, we look at other states like Florida, you know, you guys know about Florida, where Ron DeSantis, he did away with it, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? But he has all that tourism down that way to compensate for the difference. So there have been efforts a couple times at the Tennessee, at the state level, I think, to do this, and it's failed both times because they couldn't come up with a plan to replace it. So sales tax is maxed. Wheel tax already higher than the surrounding counties. We would have to lean on state funding substantially if property taxes were done away with. So right now, I just don't think that that's in the cards for Hornwall. It would be nice. Wouldn't you guys love that? I would love that also. It would be super nice. But, and you know, state law requires the county to carry certain, services for us. So that has to be paid for too, obviously. So we have to keep that revenue coming in to do the things that we need, such as ambulance service, school system, library, all these things that we have has to be funded. So, yeah, I'm with you guys. I love the question. I wish we could say no property tax starting right now. I would love that. But anyway, that's my answer.
Well, first off, that question comes off wrong because the first thing it says is Washington's wanting to get rid of it. It's supposed to start down here, not Washington tell us what we're going to do. I ain't going to go back through some of them, what they're saying, because there is relief for people that need it. And a lot of the elderly do need it. People that's on fixed incomes, they need the tax relief when it comes to the taxes. When I was county commissioner in 2010 to 2014, 31% of the people own property in Lewis County. There's 200 to 250 new homes being built in Lewis County right now. That's what we're averaging a year. So what's the percentage you think people own property in Lewis County right now? You think it'd be up? 28% of the people in Lewis County own property now. That's who's paying for the property tax. You can't go with fees because you can't go after a fee. You can go after a tax. If somebody don't pay their taxes, they can come after that. It's a burden on people, but you got to have it to be able to fund what we have. We got the sheriff's department, the school, like everybody says. We got to fund it. We got the lowest property tax actually in the state, or in the Middle Tennessee. I think we're the third in the state. It's 1.0355. Back when I was a county commissioner, 1 penny of that dollar was $16,000. A penny now is $47,000, almost $50,000. So we're doing good with that, and new houses being built, so we are getting more property tax to come in. But there's no way in a small community like ours that we could ever get rid of that. We have to rely on the taxes for that to come in here. But all taxes should be looked at, make sure that they're not being wasted, and I think Lewis County does do a good job with that. But I will say this, I think that is something that we'll have to start looking at in the future. Spend 10 years without any kind of a raise, and everybody lives, everything's went up in 10 years. So I think in the next few years, the county itself is going to have to really look at the spending and go over everything. But it is a good question. But I do believe that government starts from the ground up, not Washington telling us.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the next question. All right, and we'll just let Shane start this one. Okay. This is a hot topic. This question I pulled out of the hat here, this next one, it's really a hot topic around Middle Tennessee right now. It's data centers. It seems people either you love them or you hate them. In this techno world we live in now, everybody's using it nearly. AI continues to present itself and grow every day. Handheld tablets in the classroom providing their essays in just a few seconds. To heavily detailed graphics and advertising and marketing now, you create stuff in just a few moments that used to take hours to do or days. Even ChatGPT tells you how to cook a dinner at home. Everyone's using it. Every one of us is getting more accustomed to using it. And yet these big centers have gotten to be quite controversial. So what about data centers and their uses of water for cooling purposes in our communities? And I know this has been discussed a lot around Middle Tennessee at this moment. So the question is, if you've researched the effects of data centers on our community, And with the water consumption and the way the water is being used currently, is it still safe after it's being used, or does the data center heat up the area it lives in a negative way? And whether or not you have looked into this, what is your stance on allowing data centers in Lewis County? And that is a hot topic in Middle Tennessee right now. I don't know if we'll be affected, but it's entirely possible. And Shane, we'll start with you.
Well, our next door neighbors is going to be getting one. Lawrence County, I reckon, is going to be getting it. I think everything's went through for that. They've been around for years. Of course, we're just now really, and I never heard about them until we started this campaign, really. You can find anything you want to on about a data center on the internet. You can find good and you can find bad. I mean, it is an amazing tool to have, what you can find on your phone by using these things. I think the first ones, when they come out, that's where the water consumption ever come in, but most of them all now are sealed water. Once they fill it up, and it just circulates through there, cooling it. So it's not dumped out. I've heard of the noise, heard of the heating up. Like I said, I read one the other day as a whole topic some lady had sent me that I had talked to about, where they're talking about China spending billions of dollars to put propaganda in America to go against, put all this stuff out there against the data centers. It's something that we got to have for technology. Other countries has it, so the United States don't need to go fall behind. But the thing about Lewis County is we have no codes, and I'm not for codes, so there's really no way that we could stop it. I did think about one thing when I was thinking about how we could stop it, as I remember back, I don't know how many years ago it was, that there was a strip club that wanted to be built over there on Mount Joy. And I really don't remember what they used to get rid of that, to stop that from coming in. But I was going to find out, but I just ain't had time to find out what was used to stop that. But they are going to be built. There's going to be a new one in Nashville, the one that's going to be built over here in Lawrenceburg. We got to have it for technology, but I don't want to see our land be destroyed like you can read about some of them that's in there, the size of some of them. I read another article where they were so big, but it's just like cell phones. Remember how big cell phones used to be, but now they're getting smaller and smaller, and they're saying they're going to be the same with data centers. But like I said, when you do the research on the internet to try to find it, which you're actually using data centers to find out the technology that they're behind it, so. But it's something that a lot of people don't want, but it's something that we got to have to stay with the future.
Okay, I've researched data centers pretty extensively. They require a ton of electricity, a ton of water, and a ton of resources. My position is I'm against data centers in Lewis County 100% because we have people on the Indian Creek and Big Swan Creek that can't even get good drinking water. I don't want to spend our resources getting a data center and spend our time and energy getting one of those in here when there's people that have lived here their whole life and have looked for infrastructure as far as water resources and stuff like that and can't even get it. So it's a no for me.
I want to agree with Mr. Skelton. I would be a no on it because I think the problems with it and what it would do to our little county would greatly, greatly outweigh the benefits of it. And that's all I got to say. I'm a no on it.
Well, I don't believe in change. I know it's coming. It's come for everybody, but I don't like change. I don't know about other people. I would vote no on this. Like I say, any way you look at it, me and you and the taxpayers are going to end up paying for that thing. And like I say, we got enough expense as it is. We've lived without it all this time. Why do we need it now?
I'm going to agree down the line that I am also opposed to a data center in Lewis County. Now, I've done a lot of research on this. As a matter of fact, it's one of the reasons that I got involved in this whole thing in the first place. Now, I could get knee-deep with you about the various kinds of data centers. There are edge data centers. They tend to have a little less impact. Our big concern are the hyperscale data centers. They're AI data centers, and they use 1 to 5 million gallons of water a day. It makes Big Swan Creek's campground issue we talked about a few weeks ago look like nothing. And the water, after it's used, is not reclaimable and reusable immediately. It's useless for a while. So we're all opposed to it. And right now it feels like the only safeguard we have in place to keep data centers from coming in here are all of our leaders saying that they're against it. And they're good guys. I believe them. But I want more than that. What did Ronald Reagan say? Trust but verify. I want something on the books. I want something in writing, something codified so we can say a data center is never coming in here and messing up my 64 acres or however many acres you own. That's what's important to me. So it's very important. That's where I stand on it, and I just think we need to take another step further besides saying we're just against it.
So this is one of the things that's been brought up a couple times, and I've talked to many people about it. One thing that I will say is one of the things that we've talked about today already, and we just briefly touched on it, is codes. So coming in, when you start examining really what codes mean for a community, and I'm sure we'll have another question in just a minute. That's not to say that you can say all day that you're not going to get a data center, but even with codes, you have to have a location for things that want to come into your community. You can say all day that you don't want, as Mr. Blackwood said, you don't want a strip club. We didn't want it. Nobody here wanted it. But guess what? There's got to be a location for it, even with codes. And so I am adamantly against one. I don't think that we have the resources here because, again, all the water that he just stated, where is it going to come from? We don't have it. So I'm not going to say that we would never be experiencing somebody trying to come into this neck of the woods, but I will venture to say that it's going to be highly unlikely that they're going to have the resources necessary to be able to do so. And also, again, I'll keep bringing up state legislator because I work with them often. Just this past session or this past year, they passed that any data center that would come into Lewis or anywhere in Tennessee would be required to bring the resources necessary to do it. So it's not just saying that they're going to be able to come rolling into any neighborhood that we have, and they're just going to be able to hook up and just take off with it. It doesn't work that way. And so I'm very thankful for the state legislators' leadership there because, again, working directly with them and trying to foresee some things, this is not something that we just look at as it's coming. We've already did some planning and research, and I'm thankful for them on doing that as well.
Thank you. That was good answers, everyone. All right, this next question it's drawn a lot of discussion lately because of the growth in Lewis County. Lewis County is one of the few counties in Tennessee that does not currently have countywide building codes. Supporters of this approach argue that it protects property rights, reduces government regulation, and helps the construction costs lower for homeowners because of inspections. Critics argue the lack of building codes increase safety risk, lead to inconsistent construction standards, and potentially affect property values and insurability. The issue highlights a broader debate between individual freedom and public safety. As our county continues to grow in development, many residents are asking whether the current approach remains the best path, which we have no county codes currently. So the question is, how do you balance private property rights with public safety when it comes to building regulations? And do you believe Lewis County should maintain its current approach or adopt something new? And that kind of follows up to the data center stuff too. So this is about building codes, and we'll start.
So this kind of piggybacks on the data center conversation we were just having. Now remember at the very beginning when I said, think about the future. Don't think about Lewis County as it is now. Think about it how it's going to be. So right now it doesn't feel like codes are pressing. Doesn't seem like something we need right now. But let's say tomorrow a big developer comes in, buys up a bunch of land, and they decide they're going to build a subdivision. And they're going to build a whole bunch of houses. And there's no codes. There's no rules. It's the Wild West. They can build these houses however they want to, and they sell them to people who are desperate for housing, because we have a housing issue right now. People need places to live. So now you're stuck with people who have bought homes that are maybe shoddy, not very well put together, because there were no safeguards in place to protect those people. Like I said, for me, everything is about protecting the little guy from the big guy, and you got to start thinking proactively, not reactively. So again, I don't know that codes are something that we need tomorrow, but it's a tool in the tool bag. It's a weapon that we have to protect us against big developers, protect the little guy from the big guy, so I wouldn't rule it out entirely.
Building codes are good for certain things. Other things are not worth much, to my opinion. Again, I think a fella that owns his own property, he ought to be able to do what he wants to do on his property. Now, like I say, he may have to put a fence up to keep people from getting mad about it, which is a code. But again, he shouldn't have to put up $1 million fence to blind people from what he's got. And like I say, if you own the property and you're paying taxes on the property, you pay payments on that property, you should be able to do what you want to on that property.
I totally agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of older people here in Lewis County like me who you've worked through the years, you've worked hard, you've pinched and saved, and you've got all your property paid for, your home's paid for, and I don't think that somebody could be coming in on my little acre lot over here with a house and telling me you can do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And I agree with that. I think right now we're just, I think we're in good shape right now without building codes.
I would kind of counter that with there is some safety nets in building in our county. Obviously, you have to get a perk test for your sewage. You have to pass an electrical test before they'll turn your house on. So, I mean, there is to say that they're just doing whatever they want to do. There are tests you have to get done to be able to build your home in the county. So, with that being said, state law already requires you to pass an electric and perk test. So the biggest public safety to me is that the county mayor can control is wasteful spending, okay? That's a huge thing as far as I'm concerned, and I'm less government, and that's what zoning is. I'm for no zones and the government coming in and telling us what we can and can't do with our property. The more the government gets involved, the less freedom you have. Have you noticed that? So I'm totally against that on all sides. But to say that people are building houses in the county that are just shoddy and dangerous, I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Codes in the county, like you're saying, we already have them. Anything that for safety, we have them because of the state. One thing that makes Lewis County attractive is that we have no codes in the county. Now, when I'm out campaigning, I do hear people ask about it and ask for codes and this, that, but there are people that moved in here and they come from that. And they'll say, well, we had this. You can pick and choose, where you come from and what you had. But the way I look at it, and on the 3 different pieces of property here, I'm going to do what I want to with my property. I don't want somebody telling me what I'm going to do with it, because I do pay for it. We just got done talking about property taxes. Nobody's helping me pay for my property taxes. So I don't want nobody telling me what I'm going to do with it. But I would never want to open that box up. I'm saying you could pick and choose maybe a couple of good ones that you might want. But once you open that box, who knows what's going to come out of it. So I'm not for no more codes coming in.
So one thing that I want to state is I do not want to use codes as a weapon. I never want to use that against our constituents, because to me, when you own a piece of property, that is your property to do with it as you see fit. And just to tag on to Mr. Skelton's, we have a lot of safeguards already in place today. There is no reason for us to continue to impose big government on our constituents. Again, I stated in the beginning and I'll state it again, less government is better. Less government for everybody is better, because I don't want somebody telling me what I can and can't do with my property. And that's where you'll go. It doesn't just stop with when you enact one little piece of codes. it morphs. You've got to answer so many questions within it. And it's not just tagged to one thing or the other. When you start here, you've got to answer this, and when you answer that, you've got to answer this, and so it never ends. And so I'm for no codes in our community at all. And I think that pretty much all of my residents that I've spoken to on the campaign trail has been adamantly against it as well. So I think that's it.
Okay, we're in the interest of time, we're moving right on through. The next question out of the hat is transparency and public engagement are important to issues to all the residents of Lewis County. Some citizens have expressed an interest in measures such as live streaming county commission meetings, recording meetings for later viewing, and holding regular town hall meetings to make local government more accessible. Supporters argued that these efforts can increase public trust, improve accountability, and allow more residents to stay informed. Others point out potential costs, logistical challenges, and existing policies that may affect how meetings are recorded or broadcast. As technology moves forward to make governments more accessible, many voters want to know how their local leaders plan to communicate and engage with the public, maybe be different than we are today. So the question is, have you reviewed the county's bylaws and policies regarding recording or live streaming of county meetings? And if so, what is your understanding of the rules, and what specific steps would you take as mayor or commissioner to improve transparency and public engagement, including your position on live streaming, utilizing local news sources, and holding regular town hall meetings? And this is a broad question about basically changing the way that the meetings are held today. There's been a lot of discussion about this, whether it's more important that people come in person to see the meetings and meet with their people live, or is it more important to see the live streaming? So that's the question, I guess, would be live streaming versus in-person, encouraging more people to come out in person to the county meetings, and we'll go from there.
Well, I started this campaign absolutely running on transparency, being open with everything. So with that being said, I have reviewed it. I mean, I can't find where it's an absolutely no. There's a few little things that that we have to do to get it done, but I've not seen nothing broadly that would stop it. Now, I am for keeping the people of Lewis County informed. I've ran on that from day one. I've ran on transparency and would continue to do that on out. And if elected, I will still commit to being transparent and truthful with you. Now, in saying that, I have been on the campaign trail, and I've heard people that want it. A lot of people want live streaming. But it's one of those deals, guys, to where when we get something, is it really going to be beneficial? Or is it going to be even more propaganda used? I mean, if you live stream it, you'll have... Listen, guys, how many of you guys have Hornwall friends? I try my best to stay off of that. But what I'm saying is, when you start this, even if you live stream these events, okay, there's going to be somebody that's going to look, twist something. You could put it straight in front of their face, and they might still twist it. So, but at the end of the day, I'm running for Lewis County mayor, and obviously the commission would, if I am reading it right, will have to vote it in. So, I'm for what the voters want. I absolutely am for what the voters want. I want to be transparent, but I also think that when we get that, it could still be twisted in ways. I mean, you might hear something like, well, they didn't turn the camera on exactly at such and such time. I mean, I see the benefits of it, but if the voters want it, obviously, if I'm running for county mayor, if the majority of the voters want it, I want it. But, sometimes when you get what you want, is it really going to be beneficial, or is it just going to be another thing to have propaganda over? I mean, that's my take. But if you guys want it, I want it.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier on voter apathy. We make a lot of decisions that we have no idea what the public wants on it. Our average county commissioner meeting, we'll have maybe 6 to 8 people there, if that many, on the Monday nights that we meet once a month. So a lot of it, we're just having to shoot from the arm on different issues. So the thing is, let it be known, if that's a tool that we can use to, to help more people as far as live streaming, but, call us, email us, come talk to us in person. And I've been a county commissioner for 16 years, and I can tell you, I bet in 16 years, I've had 10 people or less that's contacted me about an issue, their opinion on how they wanted me to vote on an issue or anything. We're going to have to stand up and let our voices be heard.
Well, if I was elected as commissioner, I would be open all the time for people to talk to me about whatever's coming up or what they think we do need or do not need in this county. You could come and see me, you could phone me, or you could text me and tell me what you think. Like I say, if I was elected as commissioner, I would work for the people. Some of them seem like the people work for them after they get elected. I'm not that way. Like I say, I know who I work for, and I'll work for the public as easy and as smooth as possible. If you tell me you want something, I will write your name down and say yes. If you say you don't want it, I'll put no on it. And at the end of the day, or before the election, I would look and see what the public wanted, whether I agreed with it or disagreed with it. And I would vote the way the public wanted it because they are my boss.
So I did some calling around on this issue, and my understanding is, if I'm told correctly, that it has been discussed in front of the county or by the county commission before, and that they were generally opposed to it, and that right now you have to have a 2/3 vote to live stream a county commission meeting, if I'm understanding that correctly. I would be for live streaming county commission meetings, and if I were elected, I would try to repeal the 2/3 vote to have them streamed. I work as a social media manager and video editor, and I'm sure a good majority of you have seen my videos. You've seen the little videos I make on Facebook. I put them up there. Now look, the feedback has been generally positive, but there's been some negative comments too. If we as leaders are worried about negative feedback from people, we should just do something else, right? So I believe that we should live stream the meetings. The community should be able to say what they say about the live stream, about the issues. Anything that's going to keep people informed, I am for. Live streaming, more town halls, publishing the minutes of the meetings online. I want to be an open book about any of that, and I would support it.
So as far as the way that the resolution is written today and our, the overall, I guess, the outlook on meetings being live streamed, there's nothing prohibiting it today. We actually talked about this a couple weeks ago because it got brought up again, and so there's nothing prohibiting it from happening. The Herald could come in there tomorrow if they wanted, and I think we've even asked before if they were interested in doing that, and they could record any meeting they wanted to and publish it to you guys at any time. So one thing that I think Mr. Skelton said is so true. The minute that you don't cut it on, or the minute that you say you have a meeting and you have technical difficulties, is the minute that the public's going to say there's something farce going on behind that camera there. There's something not happening right. I am all for recording. I have no issue. Just like today, I have no issues. Anytime anybody calls me, I'll be very direct and straightforward with you. You may not like every answer I give you, but I'm going to give you an answer that's truthful. I have no issues with any live streaming taking place. So I think that there's ways and means to do that. So I think it's really going to come down to, who's willing to step up and do it. From the county standpoint, again, it goes back another investment back into the county if we wanted to buy all the tools necessary in order to do it. But again, I'm not opposed to it. But there is some things that can be twisted. But you see that even from Washington, from the state. You see that all the time. One little bitty verb will come out, or something will be misconstrued, and then everybody's turning on that candidate. So I think there's some benefits, though, and again, I'm for it.
I think people like technology. Amanda talked about this, I think, yesterday evening. was talking about what the turnout would be. I think it's a good turnout here in the audience. And man, her was talking about how many would be live streaming, which I know it's not live streamed because of the Wi-Fi, but I was anxious to see how many people would have been live streaming it. I'm all about transparency. I said if I get elected mayor, I'll only make just a few promises, and one of them is I'd have at least 3 town hall meetings a year. He talks about one-wall friends. That's how most politics gets talked about in our town. Any kind of live streaming for that, I don't think a lot of people is going to watch it because most of the commissioner meetings is just taking care of a few things. But when big things come up, more people would tune in if they know that it's going to be on there. I think about the reappraisal, how that come out to our county. Lawrenceburg just went through it, but when ours come out, I talked to Travis Henson, knew it was coming. Me and him had talked about, how much it was going to raise, and nobody got out in front of it. It had been a great time to have had a town hall. I went around since I've been campaigning, talked to every elected official, and I said, if I have a town hall and something comes up, I would like for you to be there. And all of them said they would be if it concerned their office. Like I said, I think it's a good thing. I think it should be streamed. I don't think a lot of people would watch it unless they know something big's coming up. But it's there for people because people do like convenience and people do like technology.
All right, thank you all for that. Next question, this is question number 5, and I think that in the essence of time, this will probably be our last question because I want to give all of you up to 3 minutes for a closing statement as we get ready to leave. And then this is being filmed, and it'll be dumped on all the sites here after a while, so folks can still see all the views. And that was live stream would have been very nice today. I'm sure we had a lot of folks that are disappointed right now, but maybe we can make that up to them this afternoon. But anyway, this last question is, Lewis County has experienced significant residential growth since 2020, placing additional demands on local land, infrastructure, and public services. So the question is, would you support, as a county official, creating a solid waste impact fee for new residential construction to help offset the load placed on waste disposal costs associated with that growth? Why or why not? And that's the question related to solid waste management.
My hearing is not that good, but what is the question one more time, please?
It would be with all the growth we've had in Lewis County, with all the houses being built and all the subdivisions that are being built in Lewis County, should or should we not have a solid waste impact fee when you build a new house to help offset the cost of managing the landfill and the solid waste cost that, as you and I, was driven up expensively because of all the construction we've had in Lewis County? So would you or would you not support an impact fee on a new house being built to help solid waste management?
Again, if it's an expense on the taxpayers, I think we should have a vote on that. I think myself, it shouldn't be just me to make that decision. I think at anything major, we ought to set a certain limit on things. Let's just say $2 million. Let's just say that. And whatever it is, if it's going to go over $2 million, I think that the public ought to vote for that. I think we ought to have a ballot of some kind so the general public could vote yes or no on that and get their opinion, because they're going to be the ones paying for it.
Doesn't matter. Okay. So this is going to be a question very similar to the building codes for me. So let's go back to our example about the big corporate developer who's come in, bought up a bunch of land, and is building a whole ton of houses. Now, who are they going to sell those houses to? At least a percentage of the houses are going to get sold to people who are coming in from outside the community. Counties around Tennessee, or maybe they're coming from different states. We've seen people come from California and Pennsylvania and New York, and those people are all great. But I don't think it is unreasonable for these kind of new constructions where we have people coming in from the outside, for them to have to contribute to the community, to help pick up some of the burden, the extra weight that they're bringing on our infrastructure. So I don't think that it's pressing immediately, but just like the building codes, if we're thinking forward, if we're thinking future, if we're thinking what Lewis County is going to be, it ought to be something that we at least keep on the table and discuss.
So we did just this already. We tried to look at enacting some type of impact fees. And right now, from the state, we do not have the projected growth and efficient enough number of growth in order to be able to do so. Murray County was able to do it because they had over 20% growth in a single, cycle. And so we won't even be qualified for that unless we call a special census. And to do that, again, there's additional legal loopholes we have to jump through in order to be able to do that as well. So, of course, I'm for an impact fee, especially on developers and people that are trying to build and put a strain on our just our properties in general. And we have tried to look into that already. So it's something that I would continue to pursue and look at, because I do think that there is some merits to trying to do so.
I agree. Each issue, and especially the $2 million that was mentioned, it goes again up the chain. We need to hear from you guys, and then we present it to the mayor. We talk about it as a commission, but that's what they're worth for. Let us know your opinion, which way you feel about it, up or down.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and address something that was mentioned. That was not a shot at Hornwald Friends, so don't take it that way. I'm saying social media in general can absolutely be a benefit or not to our community, and that's all that was. But impact fees, I'm all for growth paying for growth. I really believe in that. I believe, I've said from the start, the people that have lived here their whole lives, put in the work, lived here when it was still just a couple of red light town, and now it's growing more and more by the year. I don't think that burden should be laid on their back. As a matter of fact, if it was something we could get done, I'd want to cap 65 plus taxes. Just cap them and get it done. Because these people are living on a fixed income that absolutely have to pick between medicine and groceries, gas. I mean, I'm a young man. Well, I'm not quite as young as I used to be. But I'm still able to work, so it don't affect me as much. But I know the elderly of this community, they absolutely, a couple of $3 raise on something could absolutely make them have to pick between medicine and groceries. I think the growth on the backs of our 65 plus age group, they shouldn't have to bear it. I'll stand on that mountain. And but impact fees, people come here. Why do they come here? They come here because of low taxes, and I welcome every one of them. I've met so many nice people all the way across our county that just, California, Florida, Wisconsin. Everybody wants to talk about California, but they come here from everywhere. And why? Because Hornwall is beautiful. Lewis County is neat. I've been all over this country, and you'll run into somebody somewhere that's been to Hornwall before. That always amazed me. But at the end of the day, growth paying for growth sounds wonderful to me. I've had people come in here and say, on the campaign trail, they say, Ryan, why don't you guys have impact fees? That would help tremendously. These are people that move here telling me this. And that's something like Kyle said, that has been looked into. There's a few things, few steps that has to happen for us to be able to go that route. And I think the question was the solid waste impact fee. Look, any impact fee to help with anything as far as our growth, I'm for it.
Talk to somebody that I trust when we talk politics. Me and him talked about this, and we did talk about the state impact, what we would be using. And we don't qualify for that. He looked at me, he said, but just remember, this is politics. He said, you ain't got to adopt that one. You can just change the wording around and have your own kind of fee, a growth fee or something like that. Yeah, we could do that, and it would be a good thing, but to say it's one thing, but what are you going to do with the money? They build the house in the city. How much are we going to give to the city? They're our Lewis County. Their water, gentlemen here from the city, they're maxed out. They can't do more, so we're going to give them some more money so they get that. The highway commissioner's been dealing with the same budget for how many years and had no raise. It impacts the roads. So when you start talking about an impact fee, what are you going to do with it? You're just going to stick it into the general fund and start spending it? You got to see what it's going to impact and see how it's going to help with that. But I think it is some growth that we use for the taxpayers that's not here, and I think it's a good thing. But it will be a lot of research on how you're going to divvy it up. It shouldn't just go into the general fund and be spent. It should be going to other things, because that's kind of a problem that we have right now with politics. It's split. We do have the city and we have the county, and it needs to be looked at like that. But it's a good thing to have.
All right, thank you. I think that's about all the time we have for questions. That's 5 of the 7, so we did pretty well to get through all of them. At this time, I'd allow each candidate up to 3 minutes if you all want to make a closing statement, whatever you've got on your mind to close out the evening. I know folks have evening church services and things to get to with family, so we'll try to wrap this up at this time.
You want to start, Kyle? We'll hold the mayoral candidates to the end. I'd like to say something just for a second. First of all, I've had to communicate with the county commission on several different things, and I've never had a one that was hard to get a hold of or didn't have an opinion and wouldn't listen to mine. And so not a mayor, not a county commissioner. First of all of those folks, they take pride in what they do, and they're important. And so one of the things that we kept hearing, at least for me, was that you really do need to be involved. And I appreciate the fact that you showed up today, because I think more folks need to be involved. Not necessarily running for the seats, but letting your commissioner know how you feel about certain things, because I don't think there's a one that wouldn't at least listen to what you have to say and take that into consideration. So I think we should be thankful and appreciative of the folks who do that all the time. But now we're going to give each guy 3 minutes to have a closing statement. We'll just start at the front. That's the easiest way I know to do it. Kyle, if you want to start us.
It has. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for coming today and taking the time with us. And it has been a pleasure to serve District 4 for the past 6 years. There's been a lot of challenges, a lot of things that we've had to work through and to get through. But you know, I think we've all worked together, and there's a lot of things we can improve on. Don't get me wrong. I'll be the first to admit it. But being accessible to my district is something that I've always took pride in, and chairing the committee of the whole these past 4 years as well. Keeping property tax, low and not increasing the burden on our community has been one of the main things that I've stood on. And also protecting less government, protecting our property owners and less government. And so that's something that I'm going to continue to do. There's a lot of great things ahead of us. 24-hour health care. I created with the mayor at the time a health care committee that focused solely on that. And I do believe we will see that come to fruition in these next 4 years. So I've taken pride in what I've done to try to help our community. There's things, again, that I could do better and I could work on, and I always take criticism because I do not have all the answers, but I do my diligence and work to try to find the answers and work with all those affected, whether it be the county commission, whether it be the city, whoever it is. I'm willing to do it and do the necessary work to get the job done.
Some of you probably knew my grandpa's Lieutenant Colonel Kenny, and my grandpa used to quote Matthew to me. He'd say, "Jared, let your yeses be yeses and let your noes be noes. If you give me your vote, I'll always be straight up with you. I may not say what you want to hear, but I'll tell you what I truly believe. I live on Rock House Road on 64 acres. Your concerns are my concerns. Your problems are my problems. I would love to work to address the things that all the people that I have talked about have mentioned to me: roads, affordability, transparency, preservation of our farmland. I will do that for you because I want to do it for me. I just ask that you give me a chance. I won't let you down. I'm Jared Murray. I'm running for County Commission in District 4. Thank you.
Again, I'm Mike Clay. I'm running for District 6 Commissioner. If I get elected, I will work for the public. The public doesn't work for me. Like I say, I'll be open with people to talk to them about things. And if they need to talk about something they agree with or they disagree with, they could call me or come and see me about that problem. We'll try to work it out. Again, if the people say, I want something or I don't want something, it don't matter what my opinion is. Whatever the majority wants, that's the way I would vote.
Again, my name is Bill Dyer, and I've been asked this question when I came out this time as an independent. Now, you can go to Rusty Isabel and pull my voting record, and I voted Republican, I voted conservative for 30 years. Just go to his public information. But I consider everybody in the county as my constituents. I'm in the 8th district, but if you call and you say, I've got a problem that I want you to help me with and see what you can get done, I'm not going to say, well, what's your badge? Does it say Republican or Democrat? I'll be glad to help you. So that's the way I look at it as far as serving the county. Party doesn't matter to me as far as serving the county. I did register as an independent, and that's the way I'll be running. But we've got a good group right now, and we work together. And I know the Bible says where there's bitterness and envy and strife, there's confusion and every evil work. We pray before each meeting for unity and for wisdom before we make a decision on anything. Thank you.
Again, it's been very good to be here tonight. I'm glad to be here. This has been a long road for me. I announced about the second week in October, last year, running, that I was going to run for mayor. I've stuck with it. I've stayed the course. I've worked hard. I've put the work in. Now it's time to vote. I respectfully ask for your vote. This is one thing I'm going to say. I absolutely want you to make informed decisions when you vote. Don't go to social medias and let them make your mind up on who you're going to vote for. Get the facts, absolutely get the facts, and vote that way. I mean, come on. I mean, we could do better. But I humbly ask for your vote come August 6th. I will work my absolute tail off for you. I've ran on unity. I want to be a unifier between the city and county, between the commissioners and I want to find common goals. When you get numbers, when you get people going after things in numbers, common goals, you can get stuff done. Not only that, I want to get partnerships with the surrounding counties like Perry, Hickman, and Wayne. I mean, and go as far as to maybe getting on a bird and jumping a bird, going to D.C. and talking to some people in D.C. about the things we need here in Hornwall, Tennessee. So partnerships, numbers, unity, all these types of things, and I always will absolutely tell you the truth, be transparent. I'm a man, I'm imperfect. I mean, we all have imperfections. But I absolutely, with the grace of God, will absolutely seek His face for things we need in this county, because if we put God first, we can do anything, and I'll put my name on that.
Well, thank Amanda. Julie, I'm sure you had some work in that. Rob, Don, appreciate y'all doing this, putting it on. Appreciate everybody that's here. Folks here and the folks that's watching, I'm going to say I'm sorry. If I hadn't got to come to your door and ask you for your vote, I'm asking for it now. I do work. I am not out there every day. People ask me that. If you see a post of mine where I say it, but I just can't be there. But I love Lewis County. I'm not probably the most elegant speaker, but I literally enjoy going and talking to people. Like I said, I've met with every elected officials, and I wish we could have a little bit more time to talk, because I'd like to bring some things up. When you talk about transparency, it ain't all about the bad stuff you want to talk about. There's so many good stories out there to see what our officials do and what people do in our county. I look back there at Matt. I never really got to know Matt. I knew a lot of his family that was older, but after his election was over with, I think I was about 2.5 hours in your office. My first question was to him is, how'd you buy cars with $200,000 worth of cars and not ask taxpayers for money? And he showed me. And I thought, man, that's pretty good. And he's never got credit for that. There's some other people that's done things like that because first and foremost, as a mayor, it's about financial. It's the first thing they're going to look at. You're going to be over. And you should take it serious because people work hard. We've talked a lot about taxes tonight. I want to see Lewis County grow. I want to see different things happen. I want to see other things come in. There's some other questions I wish we could have got to and talk about. I like to work with people. I like to talk to people. I do think that there's a split in meeting with the city and meeting with the county, even talking with the fire department, some of the things that me and them talked about. Just there's things that the county needs to know. We're supposed to be by the people and for the people. And I think when it comes to transparency, we're going to have another town hall, hopefully for the election. I don't know if I have time or not. But I would like to bring up some of these things for people to see. It's not all about the bad. There's so much good that goes on that nobody ever sees because it seems like bad. You watch the news, bad's the only thing that gets viewers. And some people don't get some praise that they need. But here in Lewis County, we're going to have an election coming up. I am going to ask you for your vote. If you have any questions for me, I would take questions from the audience and I'd try to answer any questions. I'm not ashamed to say I don't know, but I can find you an answer or I can give you an opinion. But if you have any questions for me when we get ready to go, my number's always out there. You can always ask me anything. And like I said, if I can't find the answer, I'll get it for you. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody being here. And hope everybody has a safe trip home.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for participating. I can't not pass this opportunity to plug our fair, September the 15th through the 19th. You knew I'd do that.
You got to hit it.
And we're going to have a very big Ag Day this year on August the 29th.
It's going to be good. The second annual mule pool.
Yeah, multi-state mule pool this year.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Free event, so it doesn't cost anything to get in. And we have all kinds of homesteading.
Educational things related to homesteading in our areas.
Partner with the FFA, they're going to be there. It's going to be very good. If you would, give the fellas another round of applause. For a first annual Meet the Candidates, that's pretty good. I appreciate you coming. I know it's not easy, and I appreciate you coming and taking questions and doing those things. I would ask, if you don't mind, we're going to let you go on out to the hall so that as we release the folks here, that you'll be there so that you can speak to them as they go out. I appreciate the folks that are in office. I appreciate the folks who are trying to dedicate their lives to public service, because that's what you do. And I appreciate you folks for coming, whether you're supporting a candidate or you're just coming to be informed. I would hope that you would spread the news with everybody that you see. But August the 29th is our Ag Day.
That's correct. And the pageant, our beauty pageant, will be held here on that same day.
Yep, it's here on August the 29th. And then our fair with the carnival starts September the 15th. It'll start on Tuesday, run through Saturday, and we look forward to seeing you there. But I think for Amanda, as she stepped out with the Lewis County Herald, is the driver behind this event. And I think you'll be able to find it on her Facebook page. And I think WMLR was here. Did they leave? Were they here? Oh, very good. So WMLR is here too. So please let folks know that they can check that out on her Facebook page. WOPC's here. Are you running it too, Will, or are you just running it for Amanda? You got it too? Very good. So plenty of places to find it. We appreciate you being here. We're going to dismiss you now, and we encourage you to stop and talk to your folks out in the hall. Thank you so much.